Good afternoon. I'm Maria Aguayo, Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Bolingbrook Area Chamber of Commerce and also with American Family Insurance. I'm here with Ford Sunderland and also Dave Breaker to celebrate the ribbon cutting ceremony of Sterling and Knight Jewelry and Pawn. I would like to introduce our chamber staff, Kevin O'Keefe, Executive Director, Melissa Infusino, Manager of Member Services and Events, Tom Altoff, Membership Development, and also Saba Rashid, our Office Manager. And also our Chamber Board of Directors who have joined us today. Please raise your hand. Bobby Nuno, Nuno's Complete Care, Car Care, Chairman-elect. Mira Lee, the Shamrock Companies, past chair. Teresa Kostick, All Line Car Star. Bob Jaskowitz from 12-5 Capital. Mike Wagner, Chick-fil-A in Bolingbrook. Bob Quinn, Quinn Meadowcroft in Mikula. And Kathy Severson from Adventist Bolingbrook Hospital. We would also like to thank all the ambassadors in attendance for all your help and support. If you're an ambassador, please raise your hand and be acknowledged. I believe we have Sandy Grady here. Thank you, Sandy. And congratulations again to Sterling Knight Jewelry and Pawn. And welcome to the Bolingbrook business community. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the mayor and village of Bolingbrook, the Honorable Mayor Roger C. Claar.
Give him a plaque.
I will.
Thank you.
Welcome to the community.
Thank you very much.
You want to stand there and hold that? Here, give it to Dave. He's got one hand free. First of all, I'd like to introduce some village people who are with us today. We have Leroy Brown, Deputy Mayor, right here. We have Pat Shanks, Trustee, and Trustee Maria Zarate. We also have our village attorney, Jim Bowen, Tom Ross, Director of Public Safety, and Lucas Rickelman, Director of Public Services and Development. And Sterling and Knight, it sounds like a advertising firm in New York. How'd you come up with that?
I came up with the name because I wanted it to sound solid, and also as sometimes we're people's last resort, and so we wanted to have the knight. We want to be their hero.
So it has nothing to do with anything.
No, it doesn't.
Well, that's okay. Anyway, by the way, this is Ford Sutherland. You're the owner?
I am, yes.
And how long have you been in the pawn business?
I've been in the pawn business for 5 years, and I've been a jewelry and estate buyer for over 30 years.
Really? Yeah. How'd you get into that?
I was involved in my family business. My father was a jewelry and rare coin dealer.
What I want to know is Chumley here?
No, we don't have a Chumley. That's one of the things that sets us apart from Pawn Stars.
For those, there's two shows on cable, one called Pawn Stars, which I actually enjoy watching because it's not a normal pawn shop. People bring in exotic items. You learn the history of the exotic item, and they allegedly sell it. Then there's another pawn shop show on one of the other cable channels that's based in Detroit.
Yeah.
And that's probably more realistic.
No, I think we're probably a mixture between Pawn Stars and Hardcore Pawn. Our clientele...
I'm not saying, I'm talking about the ones you'll find downtown.
Then the one downtown, yes, I think Hardcore Pawn is probably more realistic.
That's right, it's Hardcore Pawn.
Right.
So how long have you been operating here?
I've been here since June 22nd.
And who's your manager?
Manager is Dave Breaker, who's standing behind you.
Hello.
Yeah. How long have you been in the management business?
I've been in the pawn shop business for about 25 years now.
Really?
12 years old, I first walked into a pawn shop and started doing it when I was 18 and never looked back.
And who is this gentleman?
This is Jeff Tischler. He's an assistant manager. He works at this location as well as my other stores as well.
Where are your other stores?
I have 2 stores in Villa Park and 1 in Hinsdale.
So if somebody came in here and was looking for an item, the people would look all 3 stores, correct?
Definitely, yes.
How do you decide what to accept in a pawn business? Again, those who watch on TV, it's a different rule. But somebody walks in and says, I'd like to pawn this.
We will evaluate it. If it's jewelry, we buy it. If it's gold, if the precious metals are real, if the diamonds are real. And I'm a gemologist, so I can evaluate that type of thing. If it's a laptop or a television, we just test it to see if it's working. Anyone who sells something to a pawn shop, we take their driver's license, and all of that information goes to law enforcement at the end of the day.
So to make sure it's not stolen.
Correct, yes.
If I brought it, what's a pound of gold for going these days?
An ounce of gold is going for like $1,174.
So if I brought in some gold,
Yes.
an ounce of gold, what would you give me?
If it was a 1 ounce gold coin, I would probably give you $1,150. There's not a whole lot of profit in something like that.
That's what I mean. If you'll pay the full price?
About $20 under spot.
What about these guitars? You got anything signed by Paul McCartney or anything back here?
You know, we do have a autographed picture of John Lennon. None of the guitars are autographed, but we do have John there, which is nice.
And how much is that?
That is going for $5,000. That's our Pawn Star right there.
And we talked about this earlier, but what is the authenticity of that?
That was originally purchased in Walt Disney World, and so it comes with a certificate of authenticity from Walt Disney World.
Mickey signed it?
I think Goofy, unfortunately.
What's the oddest thing you've ever dealt with at the pawn shop?
The oddest thing I've ever taken in was a kabuko helmet, which is a Japanese warrior helmet from the late 1800s.
And did you actually end up selling it?
I ended up doing a loan on it, and eventually I owned it, and I still own it.
Don't get a lot of calls for those?
No.
Is it here or one of the other stores?
It's in the Hinsdale store.
Is that you?
Is that terrible?
Go ahead and take the call. Go ahead. Speaking of phones, I think I left mine in my office. Anyway, what else? What are your hours?
We are here on Mondays from 10 until 7, Tuesday through Friday 10 till 6, and Saturday 10 to 5. I'm sorry, 10 to 3.
No Sunday.
No Sundays, no.
And how's it going so far?
Business is excellent. This is a great community. I bought this shop from someone else, so he has a loyal clientele, and we're seeing a lot of new customers as well.
So if there's anything anybody has that has some value they want to get rid of, you will, well, like already, if you put someone on eBay, will they keep a third?
They take about 20%.
20%. If you go through Craigslist, you can get whatever you can get as long as it's the check clears.
Right.
Here you get, what, on the average, on $1?
Probably about 50%.
So sometimes it's worth it to move it rather than go through the hassle of trying to sell it.
Exactly, right.
And again, if I want something odd, I can come in here and tell you, and you'll see if you can find it in one of your free stores. You have other resources in that?
Mainly we do it just through our stores. I have a lot of connections in the industry, but generally speaking, we try to keep it in the company.
One more thing. You said you're a gemologist. How did you happen to get into that?
I have my gemology degree from the Gemological Institute of America in Los Angeles, and my family business was jewelry, so studied gemology to be an expert jewelry buyer.
And sterling a night just sounds good.
Correct.
Anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'm just really glad to be here in the community, and thank you all for coming out tonight.
Okay. We'll get some scissors to cut these
Oh,
here.
beautiful.
You would hold the bottom. No, can't put your hand there.
What's that? Oh, right,
Oh.
okay.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to Bolingbrook.
Great, thank you.
There's some refreshments here. A couple of pumpkins you can eat. And I'm anxious to look around at some of the merchandise. I've been in how many people have been in a pawn shop before? Look at
That's
that.
more than you thought, probably.
About 15%.
Oh, it was closer to half.
No, it wasn't half. All right, raise it again. 1, 2. Oh, now everybody's jumping in. All right, I'm not going to win that one. I see people put up hands, not the first time, but the second time.
Okay.
Anyway, congratulations, and I look forward to looking around.
Great, thank you.